A Course in Miracles. Lesson 123. I thank my Father for his gifts to me. Today let us be thankful. We have come to gentler pathways and to smoother roads. There is no thought of turning back and no implacable resistance to the truth. A bit of wavering remains, some small objections and a little hesitance, but you can well be grateful for your gains, which are far greater than you realize. A day devoted now to gratitude will add the benefit of some insight into the real extent of all the gains which you have made, the gifts you have received. Be glad today, in loving thankfulness, your Father has not left you to yourself, nor let you wander in the dark alone. Be grateful he has saved you from the self you thought you made to take the place of him and his creation. Give him thanks today. Give thanks that he has not abandoned you and that his love forever will remain shining on you, forever without change. Give thanks as well that you are changeless, for the Son he loves is changeless as himself. Be grateful you are saved. Be glad you have a function in salvation to fulfill. Be thankful that your value far transcends your meager gifts and petty judgments of the one whom God established as his Son. Today, in gratitude, we lift our hearts above despair and raise our thankful eyes, no longer looking downward to the dust. We sing the song of thankfulness today, in honor of the self that God has willed to be our true identity in him. Today we smile on everyone we see and walk with lightened footsteps as we go to do what is appointed us to do. We do not go alone. And we give thanks that in our solitude, a friend has come to speak the saving word of God to us. And thanks to you for listening to him. His word is soundless if it be not heard. In thanking him, the thanks are yours as well. An unheard message will not save the world, however mighty be the voice that speaks, however loving may the message be. Thanks be to you who heard, for you become the messenger who brings his voice with you and lets it echo round and round the world. Receive the thanks of God today as you give thanks to him. For he would offer you the thanks you give, since he receives your gifts in loving gratitude and gives them back 1,000 and 100,000 more than they were given. He will bless your gifts by sharing them with you. And so they grow in power and in strength until they fill the world with gladness and with gratitude. Receive his thanks and offer yours to him for 15 minutes twice today, and you will realize to whom you offer thanks and whom he thanks as you are thanking him. This holy half an hour given him will be returned to you in terms of years for every second. Power to save the world eons more quickly for your thanks to him. Receive his thanks, and you will understand how lovingly he holds you in his mind, how deep and limitless his care for you, how perfect is his gratitude to you. Remember hourly to think of him and give him thanks for everything he gave his Son, that he might rise above the world, remembering his Father and his self. Lesson 123. I thank my Father for his gifts to me. If nothing was ever abandoned, what exactly has been left behind? A Course in Miracles, Lesson 123. There's an old town sitting somewhere off the map. Wood splintered. Signs faded. Doors swinging on rusted hinges. The kind of place people point to and say, abandoned, left behind, forgotten. But walk through it slowly, not with the story, with eyes that question. What exactly was left? The buildings are still there. The ground didn't disappear. The sky didn't withdraw its light. Nothing actually left. Only the people. Only the belief that something once there is now gone. And even that is just a thought about time. Now bring that same lens inward. If nothing was ever abandoned, what exactly has been left behind? The mind reaches, it searches for evidence, memories, moments, people, versions of a self that seemed real. But every example depends on one thing, that something real existed and then wasn't there anymore. That's the hidden assumption. And that assumption is what Lesson 123 quietly removes. Give thanks that he has not abandoned you. Not will not might not, has not, meaning the condition never occurred. Not once. So what is this feeling of being left? What is this sense of loss? It's the echo of a self that was imagined. The self you thought you made. Not the self you made, the self you thought you made. Not the self you made, the self you thought you made. That word does all the work. Thought. A projection. An overlay. A replacement attempt. A structure built to stand where nothing needed replacing. And once that imagined self is believed, everything else follows. Now there can be abandonment. Now there can be loss. Now there can be a world that feels dark, because the foundation itself was never real. So the instability isn't surprising. It's inevitable. This is where the small objections live. Not loud resistance, not implacable refusal. Those are already gone. What remains is quieter, subtle hesitations, a pause before fully accepting that nothing real has ever been threatened. A thought like, this part still feels real. A preference, a memory held just a little tighter than the rest. A belief that maybe something was actually lost here. That's the wavering. That's the hesitation. Not a rejection of truth, but a reluctance to release the last thread of the story. Because if nothing was abandoned, then nothing was taken. And if nothing was taken, then nothing needs to be recovered. And if nothing needs to be recovered, then what has all the effort been for? That's the edge. That's where the mind slows down. But the lesson doesn't argue. It redirects to gratitude. Not as a behavior, not as a forced perspective, but as recognition. Gifts you have received, past tense, already given, already whole. Gratitude here isn't about thanking for something added. It's the quiet realization that nothing was ever missing. That's why giving and receiving collapse into one. There is no transaction, no exchange, only extension. Like light from the sun. It doesn't decide who gets it. It doesn't measure what's returned. It simply shines. And in shining, it remains what it is. So when the lesson says the gifts are returned, 1,000 and 100,000 more, it's not multiplication in time. It's amplification in awareness. What is recognized as whole is experienced as limitless. What is shared is realized as never divided. So it appears to grow, but nothing was added. Only the block to awareness was removed. And then comes the line that quietly undoes the entire structure of effort. This holy half hour will be returned to you in terms of years. Time given back. Not managed better, not optimized. Returned. Because time itself was part of the misperception, the belief that something needed to happen later to fix what seemed to happen before.
But if nothing was abandoned, then nothing fell out of place. So nothing needs to be restored through time. And the moment that's recognized, time collapses. Not physically, but functionally. The pressure lifts. The urgency dissolves. The constant, "I need to get somewhere," loses its foundation. And what's left is something that feels almost unfamiliar at first. Stillness. Not inactivity, not withdrawal, but the absence of strain. The absence of becoming. That's why the lesson says, lightened footsteps. Nothing is being carried anymore. Not the past, not the future, not the imagined self that needed to be maintained. And in that lightness, something else becomes obvious. You do not go alone. Because the idea of alone depended on separation, and separation depended on something being left. But if nothing was abandoned, then nothing was ever separated. So the friend isn't someone arriving, it's what was never absent. The voice isn't something new being spoken, it's what was always there, waiting to be heard. Soundless if it be not heard. Not because it's silent, but because hearing is recognition. And without recognition, truth doesn't disappear, it's just overlooked. Like the town. Still standing, still present, never actually gone, only called abandoned, only believed to be left behind. So the question remains, not as philosophy, but as a direct undoing. If nothing was ever abandoned, what exactly has been left behind?